Good morning there, Devil fans. So we are going to do a quick breakdown, a little preview of tonight's game against the Detroit Red Wings. The Uncle Puckers will be on later on this afternoon. We're going to do a show. It'll be posting probably before the Red Wing game. We're going to break down the mess that was the game against Tampa Bay. So yeah, that was a rough one. I'm not going to get too much into that because we're going to talk a lot about it on the podcast. So the Devils need to get back into some type of groove. This was a rough one against the Lightning. It's early in the season. We knew that this team might get off to a little bit of a slower start. Um, Nobody likes 8 pucks going behind your goalie, but that's the beauty of hockey, right? It's every other day. You can put a loss like that behind you and fix these things and get on the right track, hopefully, tonight against Detroit. So Devils, like we know, they're 5-3-1, 11 points. I'm not even going to, okay, they're first in the Metropolitan Division. It doesn't matter. We have like 3 to 4 games in hand on basically everybody else, so it doesn't matter. We're coming off, like I said, the 8-5 drubbing at the hands of the Lightning in our own barn. If that's not embarrassing enough. Um, so this is game number 10. This is against the 3-0 Detroit Red Wings. The game is at 7 p.m. at the Little Caesars Arena in beautiful, lovely downtown Detroit, Michigan. So the Red Wings, 3 wins, 3 losses. They opened up with a 3-0 shutout win against the Predators. Then they had a home and home against the Rangers. They lost them both 4-1 and 5-2. Then they beat Nashville again 5-2, and their latest game was a 1-0 shutout win against the New York Islanders. All right. So what do we know about Detroit other than I said in the beginning of the season, I didn't have them pegged to make the playoffs. I still don't. I just think they're pretty weak. I like a few of their guys. I like, Lucas Raymond. They have Patrick Kane, Mo Sider, and of course, captain by Dylan Larkin, who I really like playing. He's a heck of a defenseman. And then they picked up Tarasenko in the offseason, who was with Florida and won the cup with them last year. Um, so I think Ville Husso was supposed to be their starting goaltender going into this year. I don't know if he's injured or on waivers. I didn't keep up on that. But right now, the 2 goalies that I know that they have in the system, of course, Cam Talbot, who's 2-1 this year. He has a 955 save percentage and a 146 goals against. And then Alex Lyon, he's 1-1 with a 907 save percent and a 3.31 goals against. So, how did we fare against the Detroit Red Wings last season? Let's look into that. On October 12th, that was the home opener, guys. The first game of the year was a 4-3 Devil win. And then, if you remember, the Devils had gone the season prior, the 112-point season, without getting shut out at all. And then on November 22nd, our first shutout was against these Red Wings. It was a 4-0 New Jersey Devil loss and a shutout for the Red Wings. And then on December 23rd, we won 3-2. So the Devils were 2-1 against the Red Wings last year, one of the few teams we had the winning record against. So, look, the game against Tampa was an absolute abysmal effort all the way around. There's really not much good that we can take from that game. And, it's just not. I think that, Jake Allen is still letting pucks in behind him. It was a horrible night for the entire team, but it's early in the season. There's a lot of new players on this squad, and there's a new coaching staff with a new system being in place. Let's worry if this is a trend. Right now, I say blip in the radar, but tonight is going to say a lot about whether or not you can come back after 2 losses in a row. How they're going to do with a team that I think, again, the Devils are a better team. But so far this year, that really doesn't mean shit. Good news. Okay, we know that Coach Keefe said today that both Brett Pesce and Luke Hughes are traveling with the team on this road trip. So they are either going to be in the game against the Red Wings tonight or the second game of this back-to-back on the island against the Islanders. So this is huge. This team has, before I think any Devil fan can make a fair assessment of this team, not only do we need to play more than 10 games, I want to get another 10 into it, 20 games into the season, and we'll see really where they're at. But we have to get our full lineup in. All right. Our blue line is been very good for the most part, as you know, take away those last two games, but prior to them, they have been playing very good defense, and the goaltending has been pretty good. So whatever went wrong against Tampa, they need to fix that. And again, it's a whole new system. Guys seemed out of place, but Pesce and Hughes coming in, I think everybody slots into their right spots, and we'll see how it goes. So, like I said, the last game was just they got outclassed. Jake Allen had allowed one goal in his last two starts prior to the eight, where his save percentage dipped to an a .880, and his goals against ballooned to a 3.01. So, bad news again, like our main guys that we depend on, Cotter, Hamilton, Holla, Nason, they were all -3 against Tampa. Not that I consider the plus minus a big deal, but I'm just saying it was a forgettable game. And I think it really frustrated the hell out of every Devil fan that was stuck watching it or who hadn't turned it off and flipped on to one of the other 16, 15 games that were going on that night. But uh, we are going to be talking about that game in full. There were a lot of things about that I didn't like, and I think the guys feel the same way. There were too many of those issues of just not. They looked soft. I mean, let's just call it what it is in that game. Reminded me of last year. They just looked soft, and I don't think they're a soft team this season. Last season, yeah, they were, but this is a new team, and I don't think they're soft. So come back and play a heavy physical game against Detroit. First periods have been awful for New Jersey. Let's come out of the gate, play a full 20, play a full 60, but come out like that game against Tampa pissed you guys the hell off. That's what I want to see. I want to see him coming out hair on fire. Jacob Markstrom in net. Man, it was rough seeing Allen. He'd played really good for us, right? Since he came over in the trade last year, and every start that he had was pretty good. And this one was just, just one of those nights. Forgettable all the way around. Nobody particularly played well, even though the Devils scored 5 goals. When you let 8 in, it's just it's hard to find some good. But again, Jack Hughes is starting to get on point. He's starting to get his chances. He's starting to bury them. Uh, a huge plus so far this year has been the captain, right? Nico Hischier has been a stud out there every game so far. This team is going to go just as far as he takes them, and I think he can take them pretty far. But this is a pretty big game. You don't want to drop 3 in a row. You gotta. This is a back to back. We know how the Devils have been on back to backs the last year or so. The last one they had, they dropped the second game to the Hurricanes. So it's kind of put up or shut up time now. Your roster by the end of this 2 game set should be complete. Everybody should be lining up where they need to be. If you're not getting whatever Keefe's new system is by the next week or so, then there's some issues. I think that they have the personnel to be a very good hockey team. I think they have the coaching to be a very good hockey team. It's just going to be a matter of time till they put it together. And when they do, I think they could be very formidable in the Eastern Conference. But this game's pretty big. You just want to just get that bad taste out of your mouth over the Tampa Bay game. You don't want this shit to linger. If you go in and you put another dud up against the Red Wings and you drop this game, now it's 3 in a row going into a Metropolitan divisional game, a 4-point game for all intents and purposes against the Islanders. This is this stuff that you just can't have build up. So get the win on Detroit. You're a better team. They got to play like it. I thought they were a better team than Tampa. I was wrong about that. So I'm really kind of trying to figure out exactly what this team is too. I think we all are. So anyway, it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be hopefully a fun game. Devils, they got to get back on track. And I think Pesce and Hughes being in that lineup is also going to give this team the emotional boost that they need. I just think that those two guys are going to be rock solid back there, and this is exactly what we need. So again, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Let us know in the comments what you think about the Red Wing game coming up, or just anything about the Tampa game. Like I said, later on, before the Red Wing game, we're going to be dropping a full podcast with me and the guys, Uncle Pucker's New Jersey Devil podcast. We're going to go over that game, look a little bit into the week ahead. Also, if anybody is interested in getting yourself one of these awesome Uncle Pucker podcast stickers, all you got to do is go to theunclepuckers.com, go to the contact info, fill it out. We get it. We send it out to you free of charge. You get a couple in the mail, slap them on your computer, on your car, give them to a Ranger fan. Whatever you want to do with them, we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for checking out these little previews, and we'll be back with a full show then. Let's go Devils.